Time limits in video on social media is the subject of today's eCentral Business Show. I'm John Nayler here with Lana Luise. Thank you very much for coming back.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
Yeah, now we've made it look like a completely different day, even though we're dressed the same. It is another day, and we have moved some objects in the backdrop that you can try and pick the difference from our last video.
I love it.
Now, let's talk about time limits, yeah? Because there's a lot of time limit stuff going on around there, and even let's start with that catch cry, that thing you got to do in the first 3 seconds to get people's attention, yeah? Go for it.
Absolutely. Well, actually, just to tell a funny story, I saw this ad on Facebook a while ago, and the lady was dancing right at the beginning.
Oh, right.
And then she sat down. She did about 30 seconds of dancing, and I was sitting there going, why am I watching this? It might have been 15 seconds, but it felt like 30. It was horrible, horrible dancing. I was like, what are you doing? And she sat down, and she said some kind of stat about, did you know that this many more people are likely to watch this video because I danced in the first 10 seconds? And I was like, what? But she's right. It was eye-catching. You know, I was going, what is that lady doing? She was a bad dancer. It was really weird. So I immediately started watching it. It was engaging from the get-go. Now, if I see a video where someone's just talking in the camera, like, you know, it's not very engaging right off the get-go. Maybe it's got a bunch of subtitles.
I can't wait for the next episode of the eCentral Business Show.
We're going to be dancing. then you know, it's you're not as likely to really want to engage with it or click on Facebook. You have to click on it to get the sound. So I'm going to be a little less likely to click on it right from the get-go. You know, maybe the third time I see it, I might give it a few more seconds to watch. But it's the same thing with your websites or your landing page. You really have, I can't remember the stat, but I think it's 10 to 15 seconds to get someone to do something. Yeah. So a lot of my clients are like, oh, it looks too salesy. And I'm like, well, actually, you need to quickly tell people what you want them to do, because we've only got a few seconds to tell them what to do. Yeah. So it's just got to be obvious.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's even where I've switched it up. And one little takeaway you might have noticed since I started doing the eCentral Business Show is I actually open with the question.
Yeah.
You know, open with the question. And there's no actually, not yet anyway, there's no catchy, flashy type thing that goes on. But
that's all right. We can dance on this table.
No, not. I assure you, this table's not for being. This is about 10 kilos. This table on purpose. We're going to do some OB somewhere crazy in the future. Okay. But anyway, so there's that whole thing that's going on, and then we see that. Say, for instance, we know around the LinkedIn genre where this stuff is focused for the eCentral Business Show. Yeah. 10 minutes is absolute max, but that's even crazy by today's standards. All the stats tell us we've got to get this done inside 3 or 5 minutes, Lana.
Yeah, don't we have we've got the minds of the attention span of a goldfish. Yeah. We really we're kind of look at it, get the message across really quickly, and just keep going. So something we were talking about earlier is with Facebook Lives, and I'm not saying I know the exact answer, but I've had a lot of people who are like, oh, wait for everybody to get on with your Facebook Live and start watching it. Well, people's attention span, they're like, oh, wait, give them a few minutes to log on and start commenting and say that they're there. But with people's attention span, as people are logging on, people are going to be getting off. So you've just got to be really careful about your time frame with that. I'm not saying, oh, definitely get going right away, but if you are going to have that few seconds where you're waiting for people to get on and say hello, then you need to be doing something engaging during that time. You can't just expect people to sit there and wait for you, because we just don't have the attention span for it anymore. Okay, so around those sorts of,
so there's that attention span thing where we will move on, and we've got a lot happening in our lives, and there's that constant bombardment almost of all the different mediums seeking your attention. Exactly. And that's why we're out to dinner and checking it. No, we don't do that. But there is that thing where we do have to engage people from the get-go, provide value instantly. Yes. Otherwise, people are just going to switch off. So
that's correct.
A couple of formulas around that. So obviously, first 3 seconds or first 5 seconds to get people's attention, get straight into some good content, but then have an engaging chat around or engaging sort of amount of content and reasons for them to stay on. So I hope we've done that in today's thing. Oh, now let's talk. While we're still, if you're still here, let's just talk for a minute about the Facebook Live, because I'm still a bit cloudy myself around that. So what's the purpose of a Facebook Live? Well, it depends what you're trying to get out of it. Facebook is really for communicating with friends and family first, and Facebook wants that to be what's happening first. So if you're on vacation and you want to share that vacation story with people, that's what Facebook Live was actually created for, and we need to be mindful of this. That being said, we don't really want it to be sharing your whole story. Even a celebrity at some point, we're kind of like, can someone filter
that? Can someone edit it? You know, if the Kardashians walked around with a live cam, like you wouldn't, you know, it's a little bit much, but instead someone's going around and editing the content to be the most engaging content. So you want to be mindful of people's time and how much they really want to see about you. But you can use, in terms of business strategy, you can absolutely use Facebook as what we're doing now, an educational tool or a conversation with your audience. A lot of business coaches that I see and business advisors that are using Facebook Live get on and just share a quick tip with some of their audience, or might do kind of a check-in session. So if they have a private Facebook group, they might check in with their audience, keep them accountable with what they're doing. And this isn't something where, you know, if you're going to have to do a video chat, you've got to log on and, you know, you've got to be present. With this, especially if it's within a group, and you know it's a group that's interested, then they can maybe be there for the live and they can be commenting rather than having to make sure their hair and makeup is done to check in with you on, you know, a live or a video conference call. But you can also post it to the page. So say they can't be there at that exact time, they can see what people are commenting live, but they can also comment on it later, they can engage with it later, and they can watch it a few times as well. So you can post it to the page and it can just remain there. Yeah,
okay. We're going to run out of time real soon.
All right.
But yeah, but let's just name a couple of places, like you mentioned about business coaches using it.
Yeah.
What are some other places you see that Facebook Live, or what sort of genre is it really kicking in? You're doing some stuff around events.
Events, yeah. I mean, there's people doing it for pretty much anything, everything, especially if you've got some good advice to share. So you could do it with marketing. I find a really fun way to tell people about events that are in the area, because you know, when you go into an event, you're not quite sure about it. You're going, oh, I don't know if I want to go to that event because I don't know if I'm going to know anyone, or I'm not going to know what it's usually like. So if you can go in there and show them a bit of a preview, they might want to come to the next event, you know, whether it's networking or community based.
Yeah, show them the venue and a bit about the chandeliers and the photo, the selfie opportunity.
Show them the wine and the champagne, and then they'll come along to the next one. No,
Melbourne Cup Day is coming up as well. Oh,
maybe do it at the beginning of the evening.
Good advice. Yes. Yeah, okay. And at the same time, it shouldn't be a blow by blow of your life. And I see people doing that.
They do.
I'm in the car now. I'm stuck in traffic, might as well talk to you guys.
Yeah, it can be a bit much, so you want to be mindful of that. But as I said, you know, it's a great way of telling people about something new that you're up to, sharing a bit of advice. And businesses can also use it as, you know, if you want to show them something new that's going on in the business, showing them something new, someone celebrating a birthday in the business, so connecting with your community as well.
Yeah, sure.
Be mindful of people's times and don't go overboard with it either.
Yeah, fantastic. Lana Luise, thank you very much. Valuable information about Facebook Live and the social media. Not my area of speciality. I like to deal in Google and those sorts of things and the reality side of the world, SEO and traditional stuff. But Lana, absolute insights today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. It's been great.
Okay, there you go. John Nayler, again, we'll see you next time on the eCentral Business Show. Thank you very much for watching another episode of the eCentral Business Show. What we're looking to do across the eCentral Business Show is bring to you the very best content from great people with really informative knowledge to share. It's something that you can listen to in the car. Don't watch it obviously when you're doing that, but we're looking to really bring value to you across LinkedIn, YouTube, podcastable content, so it's really great and informative business knowledge. So please tune in as much as you can. Now, the great ways to follow us, you can register on the database, make contact with us, and we'll put your email in. We're going to tell you each month what great videos will come out and just give you a curated version through the eCentral magazine, where we're going to send you the most popular videos for the month. The other thing we can do is obviously invite you to connect with us on LinkedIn, linked up with myself, John Nayler. And the other thing, of course, is look up John Nayler on YouTube and subscribe to our channel there.